Hello and welcome to For Heaven's Sake, a Seventh Heaven podcast. We are your co-hosts, Lady J.
And T.
T, how are you?
I'm good. I'm cold, and how are you?
I know. I'm good too. Man, I missed you. I missed this. For listeners, like, we've been off for like 3 weeks now?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And it's felt like a lifetime.
It's weird.
It is weird. What's really weird too is like, in real life, like as of this record, we've just celebrated the holidays.
I know.
And like the Camdens are celebrating the holidays, like in
I know.
this and the next episode.
It's kind of nice. Like, I'm not over the holidays just yet. Maybe after we record, maybe they're like, okay, now it's over.
Yeah, right? Like it's this neat little like, time capsule kind of moment.
Exactly. You're like, oh, let me remember my Christmas. Yeah.
How was your holiday?
It was nice. And I played with a bunch of bebes and all the babies were super fucking cute. Yeah.
Babies are super fucking cute.
Yeah. Well, they're cute when they're not crying. And then when they start crying, you're like, where are your parents?
Yeah, dude, seriously though. Like I spent New Year's Eve with a 5-year-old and a baby. I mean, it wasn't just the three of us. There was more people, but they were there. And the baby's like 1 and some change at this point, but anyway. And yeah, dude. Like the baby she's like super fussy. She's like super shy. She's not like one to be loving all up on people and stuff.
Okay.
So she's all like closed off. And then you give her like a little moment of attention and she like thrives for a hot minute.
Yeah.
And then something will set her off. And goddamn, she was a fucking siren, dude. Ooh. Her shrieks could fill a hall. Like, holy cow. I mean, and to the point where it was just like, God, like, get this baby out of here, like such a buzzkill way to ring in the new year, Plus, like, half the people were like super sick, so I didn't really want to be there. It was kind of like, I don't know, it wasn't the greatest.
Yeah,
but
when they're sick, you're like, I want to hug you, but I shouldn't. So it's like you're keeping everybody at a certain distance while you're drinking. You're like, I want to be affectionate with somebody.
I know, and then I'm the cold fish for like not hugging and kissing everyone, and it's like, ugh.
It's like y'all have germs.
Whatever. And I literally like 12:04, I was out of there because we all gathered at my aunt's house.
Yeah.
I said Happy New Year. I literally like shouted it to everyone and I got my purse and left. Like I was in bed by 1:00. It was amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
no regrets.
I definitely enjoyed January 1st.
Yeah, what did you do?
Lazy as fuck.
Me too. I never left my couch.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was me like, oh God, I don't know. I was Netflix, did a little cleanup. Netflix, did a little cleanup. That was my day yesterday.
What did you watch on Netflix?
Bird Box.
Me too.
Okay. Oh, we'll talk about it
off mic.
And I was watching Travels with My Father.
Oh, the greatest show of all time.
Yeah,
how funny is that?
Couldn't stop chuckling watching it with my mom, and she every time we'd say "fuck off," my mom, I would just hear my mom going.
Did you get to the part where they get the doll?
Oh my God, Winston!
Yeah.
Frightening. Every time I'm like, no, but the Oriental Express, how gorgeous.
I know.
I've read about it and I've never
cool.
seen pictures. I always forget to look into it. And then when I saw that, I was like, oh, I should look into this.
I know. It's a cool little moment.
But seriously, how small were those beds?
Very.
They were cot size.
But what do you expect? I mean, it's a sleeper train.
No,
They're not going to be like kings.
No, I totally get it. But it's just.
No, I know.
I'm looking, I was like, how many days can your body survive that cot?
Yeah.
That kind of sleep.
But I think the idea is that you wouldn't spend any time in your room. Like the idea is that you're going to be in the dining car and the whatever car, like, and then you just sleep in your room kind of thing.
Yeah. Gentleman's club. And he's chafing. Oh my God. I love them together.
Yeah, they're great. That's for the listeners. That's Jack Whitehall's Travels with My Father. He did 2 seasons where he and his actual father travel together. And as you can imagine, there's quite a bit of like generational stuff.
It's awesome.
Which is great. Yeah.
And he got a tramp stamp and the other one got a henna tattoo on their arm. Mike.
Right.
I'm not Mike.
That's right.
So funny.
Oh, man. Okay. So, task at hand. This is episode 1010. We're in the double digits.
I know.
Finally. It's titled Apple Pie.
Which sounds so good right now.
It does sound really good. It really started to annoy me though by the end of this episode.
Yes, I am
Eric's
with you.
like obsession with this GD pie.
Yeah.
Like, crap, shoot. I didn't write down the DVD description. Oh. Whatever. We just won't read them. The Amazon Prime spoilie for this episode is Ruthie hears a nasty rumor about Jack.
Whenever you read that, I was like, a nasty rumor again? And then I forgot. Yeah, it's about
Not
Jack.
Not about herself.
Yeah.
About Jack. Yeah, so basically...
I think we should, just dive in with Jack and Ruthie anyway.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, we're pretty much... I don't want to say we're picking up right where we left off, but, like, where we left off, right, Thanksgiving happened. Mm-hmm. We saw Ruthie sort of, like... reconcile or whatever, not reconcile, but like come to terms with Sandy and everything. That wasn't the last episode, right?
Well, no, she it was during Turkey episode.
Turkey.
Yeah.
So I was like, sorry guys, it's been a couple of weeks. Okay, bear with us. So basically Ruthie is still on that Jack train, kind of. So he approaches her. Yeah. And at this point, she knows there's something about him that she doesn't know. Yeah. Because people have made it clear. I guess Eric and Martin have made it clear. And maybe even Simon too, whatever.
Apparently.
That they know something about Jack that were Ruthie to know would not make her not want to be with him anymore. Exactly. And so they're having this conversation, and I really respected Ruthie here. Like, while she and Martin might not be like best friends right now because of everything that went down, like she still respects him and like trusts him enough to be like, I want to hear what he has to say before I tell you, Jack. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, I'll go out with you. Yeah. Like, I feel like that says a lot about Ruthie's character, that like at the end of the day, she knows who Martin is and like knows his character and everything. And like, you know, wants
and still trusts him. Yeah.
Wants to still like rely on him and like put or set some store in her relationship with him or whatever. Yeah. So he's like, he's so adamant that he's done nothing wrong or that he has nothing to hide or whatever.
Really, he has nothing to hide. He's that confident.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that made me feel like, oh, you're going to fall hard, dude. Like, didn't it make you feel like, ooh, you are hiding something?
Almost, but yes and no, because if you're that confident that there is nothing on him, right? I was like,
because if there was something on him, then it would be like, fuck you, I'm even harder or whatever.
I don't know. It was just really weird. I kind of assumed, I was like, he's going to explain himself and all is going to be okay. I had that feeling, but I wouldn't mind a nasty rumor and for Ruthie to wake up.
That's the thing. Like, you know, I almost wanted there to be something big about, like a big nasty secret about Jack.
Because we waited 10 episodes about this.
And well, I mean, they dropped the bombshell on us like maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago.
Yeah, but like she's been on the hunt for Jack from episode 1.
Well, but more so the hunt for Martin.
I know.
And that's the crapshoot now that Ruthie's in, I think. Yeah. And ultimately, the one she ends up in like realizing at the end of the episode is like, she doesn't really want Jack. No. Like, all of this was about Martin, and she knows she's not going to have him now, so like, really, who cares? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, it's whatever.
I mean, not to like fast track this whole storyline or whatever.
But basically, that's what happens.
That's basically what happens. And I love that moment where, so basically, Jack like dares Ruthie, like in that conversation at the beginning. He's like, okay, go and like talk to Martin and like find out all the things you need to find out about me or whatever.
I don't know what Martin's problem is with me, but since he's about to become a teenage father, don't you think it should be taken into consideration that he may not be the most responsible person in the world? He might not be a reliable source of information. What? Are you in love with the guy?
No, I'm not. We're just friends.
Okay. If he's really your friend, I'm sure he at least thinks he has a legitimate reason for keeping you from going out with me. So, find out what it is. Go. Find out. Let me know what I've done. I can't wait to hear.
ugh.
Yeah.
It's like, damn it, Jack, though. You know what I mean? Like, the way he says it makes me want to be like, well, fuck you too, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
No, when he is basically talking shit about Martin, I was like, okay. I remember thinking, like, okay, then this is bullshit. You're probably going to fuck up. But he was really adamant about meeting Ruthie's dad and talking to him.
That's
I said,
the saving
if
grace.
there is you have no fear about this, then your hands must be pretty clean.
Yeah, because basically then Ruthie comes home and tells Eric, like, yeah, Jack wants to come over tonight if that's cool, because he wants to meet you and talk to you, because we want to make plans for going out this weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm conflicted about Eric in this episode, because first of all, we see that he comes home late, right? Like, everyone's already had dinner. Ruthie's like prepping his plate and like cleaning the whole kitchen, putting leftovers away, whatever. And then he just like comes in and he's like, oh, you guys made a plate for me. Thank you so much, whatever. Clearly he's been working all night kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the minute he walks through the door, she's like, Jack's coming over tonight. Like, meet with him. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, wouldn't a normal dad just be like, dude, I'm fucking tired. I've been working all day. Can I just eat something and go to bed, please? Like, like, where does Eric, why does he always have to like say yes to requests like that? You know what I mean? Like, especially regarding Jack, where he doesn't even really want Ruthie to date him anyway. Wouldn't it be in his best interest to be like, tomorrow, like, let me sleep tonight kind of thing?
Yeah,
you know?
You're right. You would think so. But I don't know. But then there's that other part of me that thinks Eric always wants someone to learn a lesson. So,
I mean, yeah. But it's also like, what time is it? Like, how late is it?
Yeah,
indeed?
seriously.
Like, if someone's going to come over, it can't be like 10 o'clock, you know? Like,
yeah, most of this episode takes place in one evening. At least a good good half.
Yeah. And then like the next day, I guess.
Yeah. And barely of it.
Yeah. So anyway, so then this motherfucker comes over.
Yeah.
But not before Martin comes over. And that's when Ruthie gets her, I think, like, closure moment with him, which, again, super necessary.
Yes.
Like, I'm still reading for these two to get together somehow, some way. I don't know. But like, definitely after like the insaneness of the last episode and all of that, like, definitely Ruthie needed a way to like close that chapter with him.
Yeah.
And Eric was the one. He was like, talk to Martin. She's like, I'm not going to talk to him. And he's like, talk to Martin. Then Jack can come over and I'll talk to him or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? So Martin comes over and Ruthie is basically like, dude, like, I'm over it. Mm-hmm. Like, I know that I like yelled and screamed and like punched you and stuff yesterday or whatever, but like, I'm over it. I just need you to admit that you knew I liked you.
Yeah.
And that as a result of that, like, you were leading me on. Mm-hmm. And it's this like, I'm going to play it.
Okay.
At least whatever part of it.
I apologize for how I reacted and for screaming at you when I found out about Sandy. But
Thank you. I accept your apology.
I'm over it. And I only had a crush on you because you led me on.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You knew how I felt about you. You did, didn't you? Just say you knew. You don't have to apologize.
Why do you want me to say I knew?
Because it's the truth. And then I won't feel like the total idiot I felt like before I realized you knew.
I knew. You said you wanted me to say I knew, so I said it.
Yeah, I know, but now that you've said it, it just didn't feel as good as I thought it would. So why don't you just go?
But
okay, do we believe him?
That's the part that's tripping me out too. But I will say this much. She calls him. He doesn't call. He fucking shows up.
And she's like, I thought you'd just call back. He's like, you haven't talked to me in 2 weeks. You think I'm just going to call back?
It was that's my favorite.
It was really sweet. I don't believe him. I don't think he knew. And I think this is all just, they're playing a game right now, right?
Yeah.
She for her closure and for her peace of mind, she has to pretend like he knew and he led her on so that she doesn't feel like a total fool.
Yeah.
And he recognizes that. And so he gives it to her. He doesn't help anything by saying, you told me to say I knew, so I said it. But like, I feel like he's throwing her that bone, telling her he knew so that they could just move past this and like, basically like each just close the door, close the book and move forward, hopefully with a healthy, good relationship.
Yeah.
I don't think he knew. He couldn't have been that fucking, I mean, like if he knew, he wouldn't have been that callous.
Maybe. Yeah. You have a point there.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying.
At the same time, if he didn't know, then why would telling her about Sandy be such a big deal, right? As far as he's concerned.
Yeah, everybody kept telling him, tell Ruthie.
I know. I mean, he knew he had to tell Ruthie. Like, more than anything, the reason she was the last to know is because he didn't know how to tell her.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then he must have realized there's more there than just friendship, I guess. Oh, fuck, I don't know, man.
Well, you know, you kind of have a point there because Meredith had no fucking clue that Ruthie liked Martin.
That's true.
Meredith,
that's true. She
remember?
Was like, wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah. She had no idea.
That's true.
So,
damn.
It's possible.
It's all fucked. I don't know. Somehow, some way, Sandy and Simon are going to get together and Martin's going to be free to be with Ruthie. I just feel it in my bones. Our listeners who watch the show are like screaming at their phones right now.
Yeah.
I recognize that. But like somehow, some way, I feel it. There's not a universe in which Martin and Ruthie don't end up together.
I can imagine someone, they don't end up together. We all wanted it.
One of our listeners tweeted at us recently or sent us an Instagram or something where she was like, God damn, like, I just want to tell you guys everything. I mean, she didn't say goddamn, but like, she was like, it's so crazy, like, hearing you guys not know what happens.
Yeah.
Like,
I know absolutely nothing.
And I love it. I like for the first time in this show's history, like I really don't know what's coming. Like, you're really no clue.
You're kind of my compass. Now you're in the dark.
I'm completely in the dark. Like I thought I knew what was coming all season 8 and 9. I was like, they're going to get together. I was like, now I really don't know.
Yeah. We don't know if it's possible.
Like it's exciting. So so then Jack comes over while Martin is still there. And that's when they have that whole like ping pong debate. There's literally a moment where like it's like a 3-shot of Jack and Martin on either side and like Ruthie's like in the middle. Like,
and you see her looking back and forth between
her head
them.
is like bobbing between the two of them as they're talking.
But the best part of that is when she decides to sit on the counter.
It's the greatest. She's like, let me settle in. This is not going to end anytime soon.
I was like, grab the popcorn while you're at it.
Seriously.
But I mean, that must have been a great show for her to watch.
What I was going to say is like, or what I put in my notes is like, she's like acting her ass off in that scene.
Yeah.
Because she's like engaged. Like they're the ones talking, but she's like in it, man. She's like listening to each person's points carefully. Yeah. Like coming up with her own conclusions.
She's like, I'm going to be here for a while. So let's get comfortable.
It's great. So then it all basically comes out, right? Like Jack's like, what is this thing that you think you have on me? Whatever. And Martin's like, oh, like when I was with Meredith, like she told me that you tried to pressure her and stuff and that she wasn't the only one and there have been other girls and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And Jack's like, okay, first of all, that one girl was the one that dumped me. So like calm down, you know, and I actually really liked her and she was a good girl or whatever. And then, like, second of all, like, yes, like, I'm not trying to hide the fact that I've had sex, but, like, it was never a pressuring situation. It was always like, that wasn't my goal at my outset or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, you can ask them. he basically is like, call them up right now. Yeah. Like, you know, like, just short of that. And so Martin has to be like, oh, damn, shit, okay, like, sorry, I didn't know that girl dumped you. Like, my bad, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, whatever. And, like, totally has to, like, eat his words. And basically has no recourse but to, like, stick his tail between his legs and, like, bounce.
Yeah.
Leaving Jack alone.
Yeah.
Not alone, but like leaving Jack there with Ruthie to go talk to Eric or whatever.
Basically.
At this point, Eric's whole mission in life is to get this apple pie out of the fucking kitchen without having to be down there and like insert himself in this conversation that Ruthie's having with Jack, which rightfully so, because he says, and I think he's like, there's moments where I'm like, fuck you, Eric. There's moments where like, I get you, Eric. Like, where he's like, for once, like she's having like a deep and meaningful conversation with him. Like, I want her to handle this. Like, I don't need to insert myself. Like, let me see how this plays out, because he trusts Ruthie. He knows Ruthie's like good or whatever.
Basically.
So he's like, I don't want to like be there right now. Like, I'll go when it's time. You know what I mean?
But I need that apple pie.
Fucking needs the apple pie though, so he's gonna recruit anybody he can to go down there and
the
like, sneak it
fucking
out
twins.
of the kitchen. I swear to God, like the stupid twins, and he's like, it's on the table. You'll see. And they're like, which table? Like, goddamn,
it's on the counter. Do you need a fork?
The twins are becoming more of a hassle than they're worth, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, you know,
because like all of a sudden they're old enough where they're not like, you have to include them in the storylines. You know what I mean? But they're like the worst. So they're just there and they have stupid storylines like, go get the pie from the kitchen, you know? And then they're like idiots about it. So they're having a conversation, Ruthie and Jack. Eric comes down to get the pie. While he's there, Ruthie's like, oh, hey, Dad, Jack, cool, yeah, let's talk, whatever. And Eric basically says, like, listen, I still think you're too old for her, but I trust you guys. Like, I trust that you're a good guy, that's why you're here. Like, you know, that there's no bad blood, like my bad for thinking that or assuming that or whatever. Like, I made my promise to Ruthie. Cool, whatever, go and date.
Yeah.
And then they're saying goodbye in their little foyer.
And both of them were hesitant.
Taco, man. Like,
yeah, definitely.
On Jack's part, initially, I kind of got the feeling like, oh, okay, like he's Akko because like Eric's right there. He's not gonna like make a move, right? But then Ruthie didn't try anything either, and she'd be the first person to make a move if she felt comfortable making a move.
That's
you know what I mean?
true.
So when she didn't like pursue anything, like a goodbye kiss or whatever, I was like, oh damn, something's up.
Yeah.
And sure as shit, Eric calls her on it and is like, oh, I noticed there was no kiss. You know,
she's like, all's good, dude. Stop.
Well, she says that stupid thing that they always say in this stupid show where they're like, well, it's not like we were on a date. And even if we were on a date, I don't know that I would let him kiss me. And it's like, really? Really? Kissing is now a point of contention in dating?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, if you're not going to kiss somebody, do you even like him? You know what I mean? Like,
True.
Especially at that age, like, it's the one thing you can do and like not cause a scene. You know what I mean? Like,
True.
do it if you like somebody. So anyway, so it becomes very apparent to Eric and the audience that, this isn't anything anymore. So then sure enough, at the school the next day, they run into each other. She's trying to avoid him. He comes up from behind her.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you're looking for me? I was like, she's trying to avoid you, son.
Yeah. And they both like blurted out at the same time, like, you're too old/young for me.
Yeah.
And they both agree, like, this is silliness. Like, it's fine. Like, on his end, he's like, I felt embarrassed, like, talking about certain things in front of you the other day. And I feel like if that's the case, like, I really shouldn't be with you if I can't even talk about things in front of you, kind of thing. And on her end, it was like, yeah, like, you were experienced more than me and I'm not really ready for that. Not that you're pressuring me, but like, I don't, it's just not evenly matched kind of thing. So they're just like, well, let's just be friends then. And so it all comes full circle. 10 episodes in, we're back where we started as far as Ruthie's concerned.
I was like, so we're single and we're loving it?
Yeah, like all of this time, all her boyfriend, blinders. And it all like, now she's like, I have 2 good guy friends and I'm not interested in dating anyone. All right. Cool story, bro.
I still can't get over what the fuck Simon said to her. He's like really tall. You guys look ridiculous. I'm like, that's what you're going to base that shit on?
I want to play this clip because what Ruthie says to him.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
He had a
Lying on me?
Believe me, no one cares at this point. I don't care what that guy did or what he didn't do. He looks like a giant next to you. You'd look ridiculous if you dated him.
I wish I had any respect for your opinion on relationships. Where's Rose?
Out.
all by herself without you on your last night here? Now that's ridiculous. I mean that you believe it.
Boom. She's still got it, man.
Yeah.
She still has a way of like cutting you to your core, you know?
Yeah, she does. Definitely.
So let's talk about old Simon and Rose. Why don't we?
I don't know how this story's still continuing.
I swear to God, G, I'm at my wit's end. I'm at my wit's end with her.
Yeah.
The lying and though in fairness, she does fully come clean at the end of this episode, which is like a weird character turn. Like, I hate that all of a sudden I'm like, okay, well, she did come clean. Like, I don't want to give her any points. You know what I mean?
I don't either.
It's like really frustrating that they gave her points in this episode. Basically, Simon's on Christmas break because his semester ended at Thanksgiving, which, what the fuck school is this? I want to go to there. But anyway, so he's on break, but he still has to work because he's trying to pay off this ring. Yeah. So he was home for Thanksgiving, but now he's got to go back to school for work. Yeah. And this is his last night in Glen Oak before he does that. And he wants to spend it with Rose, but Rose has quote unquote plans with Sandy.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, whatever. So then she hangs up with him, and then the doorbell rings at her house or her parents' house or whatever. Yeah. And there's a man at the door. Yeah. And she's like, oh, I missed you. And they like hug and they're all familiar with each other or whatever. Immediately shocking no one. That's her dad. Like, not even a guess. Like, that's like obvious. You know what I mean? Like, it's like not even like, don't even try to play like this is some lover of hers or whatever. You know?
Yeah, because no.
So, long story short, basically, through a series of conversation moments between her and her dad, we learn like her parents are not together. Yeah, her mom's on her third marriage, her dad's on his fourth, and he's about to get divorced. Yeah, and is like everything's a hot mess in her parents' lives or whatever. Yeah, and that's why like she doesn't want Simon to meet her parents until basically he's locked down, like until after they're married or whatever, because their lives are so like not Camden style or whatever.
It's definitely not
like that. She's like embarrassed or whatever. And mind you, quick side note, point of contention or bone of contention or whatever, it's like she keeps calling it her parents' house. Her parents don't have a house together. Yeah, like whose house is this? Is it her dad's? I guess.
I think it's her dad's.
He lives there with Rose's like fourth or third stepmom or whatever. So it's weird that it's like parents' house. It's your dad's house. But yeah, I get why she has to call it her parents' house, but anyway, because she does it to Sandy too later, and it's like Sandy knows the deal. Like, why are you calling it your parents' house anyway? So basically, like her dad tells her like, listen, like it's never gonna be perfect or whatever. Like, why not just have him come over and meet me since I'm here? Like, I don't know when I'm gonna be in town again, kind of thing. And she's like, no, like I don't want that. But she does say to her dad, like, she loves him. Like, she loves him more than she's ever loved anyone. And she really, really wants to marry him. Which, like, at this point, I'm like, okay, so she's, like, fully sociopathic. Like, she's lying to not only Simon and the Camdens, but, like, to herself / her dad. like, what is this game she's playing? Like, I don't know. Unless it's actually true. Because then when Simon realizes she's lied to him about what she's doing that night, because Sandy happens to be at Kevin and Lucy's, not with Rose. So he's like calling her. She's not answering. Finally, after her dad leaves, she answers and she's like, oh, I turned my phone off. Sorry. I'm just now seeing this or whatever. Yeah. And he's like, I know you weren't with Sandy tonight. Like, give me the fucking truth. And she's like, okay, it was my dad. And like, sorry, I didn't want you to meet him because of blah, 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 blah. She like tells him everything. Yeah. And I'm just like, damn it, Rose. So like, is this not a game? Like, I don't know anymore. I feel like I'm being gaslit by Rose.
I don't know. She's still fucking crazy and manipulative.
She is.
Because her dad said, well, why don't you just move in with him? I did until the parents got involved, and you have been pressuring him for marriage and moving in together. And you basically said, if you're out of this house, like, there better be some kind of trade.
Yeah. I know. Because, okay, so, like, because a couple of things happen in her conversation with her dad, right? Like, first, she tells him, like, I'm really bummed that you're selling this house. And he's like, well, you know the deal, like, divorce, new house, or whatever, basically is what he says. And then she's like, okay, well, like, could you give the house to me and Simon? He's like, give? And she's like, well, sell. Which, like, okay, whatever.
Like, you think Simon could afford that shit? He's already, like, dying paying off your fucking ring.
And more importantly, you've already pitched that idea to Simon, and Simon has already said, we can't afford that house right now.
Yeah.
If ever we can afford a house, we'll buy a house when we're ready to. I'm not going to buy your parents' house from you. Okay?
Exactly.
And then she still tries to get that house from her dad after all that.
Yep.
Which means she has no respect for Simon or what he's trying to do with his life or his goals or whatever.
No.
And then after like the final moment or whatever between Sandy and her dad is like, okay, well, I'm happy for you. Like, I hope your first marriage is as good as mine was or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Like, great message, Dad. Like, doomed to fail, aren't you? Like, what the fuck is happening with this fucking family? Like,
I don't know.
I can't. I'm like, I'm at my wit's end.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm literally like I'm being pulled in two directions. Like on the one hand, Rose is a crazy psycho bitch. Clearly comes from a family that's like crazy psycho also.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, I'm like, okay, but she's like actually laying it all out there for Simon in a way she's never done before. Like, just full honesty. Like,
if the show is going to try to make me like her.
Oh my God, I will murder someone. I will fully murder someone.
Because I hated her the moment I saw her on screen. Which was
what
last
the show
season.
Wanted us to.
Yeah.
The show has every single Rose moment that has happened up until this point. First of all, most importantly, has never been sans Simon or Sandy. Like Rose has never existed in a universe of her own until this moment.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And secondly, like, I forgot what my point was, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden, 10 episodes in,
they invested.
We're trying to like maybe paint a different picture. Like, if Brenda Hampton starts backtracking on the seeds she's sown or planted for Rose, I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And this show is truly garbage.
I know. And what a shame, too, because so far this season has been pretty stellar.
I know. It's maybe their best season.
I would say it is.
It is.
It's even better than like 1, 2, and 3, really.
Oh, definitely.
And I mean, we've always sort of held those 3 as their best seasons, you know? Like, it all went downhill after that. But like, this is definitely better than anything they've ever done before from a storytelling perspective, like TV quality perspective. But if they start fucking around with this Rose bullshit,
yeah,
it just, again, our listeners are screaming at their phones right now. They're like,
we don't know yet. Just we'll catch up.
Hopefully before the season's over. So that's the deal. And what sucks too, mostly for Simon, but kind of also for Ruthie, I mean, for Annie and Eric, is like, you know, all of this like lying and the fact that she's not answering her phone and stuff is like planting seeds of doubt in Simon's head, right? Because you've got Eric on his little Iago shoulder being like, oh, you know, why wonder why she lied? Or don't you want to call her and find out? Or don't you want to ask Sandy why? Like, Eric's just like stoking the fire of like, you know, not trusting or whatever. And of course, it's hard for the audience too, because it's like, yeah, we're on Eric's side because we don't like Rose either.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want to see Simon like this. I don't want to see Simon like trying to like get over it, but then clearly not over it because he can't leave the couch and he keeps calling and calling and, you know, and it's just like, it really fucking sucks. It sucks all around.
It's
for
true.
Everyone.
But Annie, I think, says it best to Simon on that couch.
What does she
where
say?
she basically tells him that she's worried because there's a part of Sandy that wants something, not Sandy, sorry, Rose, that wants something so much. And the moment she gets it, she just might get bored.
That's
or
right.
it might get tired of it.
That's right.
Or not find it as pretty or as, you know, exciting or desirable.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's true.
Because she's all about getting the next thing. Mm-hmm. She's not settled in the one thing that she has.
Right.
And we've been seeing that constantly.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I feel like part of that probably has to do with the way she was raised, or, you know, what, like the example she's gotten from her parents or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, it's like, okay, yeah, so you got married, didn't work out, go to the next one. Okay, so that didn't work out, go to the next one. Like, that's not really a shining example for marriage.
No.
Not that
all.
I believe in marriage or whatever. I'm not trying to like give a commercial for marriage. I'm just saying.
No, but like even just a commitment in general.
Right.
Like she wanted to have sex with him and he said no.
Right.
So she found another way to get him.
Right.
And that was a verbal agreement on marriage.
Right.
Then she tried to move in. That didn't work out. So then she made sure that there was a ring. That there is a promise of an actual future.
Right.
Okay.
And now she's like telling herself, it's like this mantra, like, I do love him. I do want to marry him. I really want him.
When I got the dress and I'm going to try to marry him before the year is over, or like maybe get married right out of college. She is trying to speed things up.
When she's talking to Sandy at the end and she's like, oh, I actually think telling him the truth is going to make him want to get married even sooner. Like, I think it really is going to speed this thing up. And I'm just like, oh my God, this bitch. Like,
that's the thing. Like, she was honest, but she's not fazed by that. Like, it's her normal.
You're right.
It's her normal.
You're right. She wouldn't have been honest with him if she didn't think she could spin it in her favor.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't think it's going to make Simon want to marry her any faster, though. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I would hope
why
not.
would that be the case? Like, why would just simply by virtue of her telling the truth, or is it the truth that she told? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Well, Simon's a moron because he's like, oh, I can totally trust her.
Yeah.
He says that.
That's right. And she fucking manipulated him into thinking that because she told him the truth once. God damn
He's truly blind.
He's so blind. Oh, God. And then I sat there and I was like, okay, so let them get fucking married. And we know it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
And they'll get divorced and they'll just be another statistic. And who gives a shit? But then I know Simon and I know the family he comes from. So I'm like, okay, but he's not going to want to get divorced. He's going to try to make it work and they're going to be miserable together and it's going to be a nightmare scenario. And God forbid they have a child and then it's fully over.
Yeah. I was also thinking, when Simon is about to leave the house and I think he's about to like hunt down Rose, what does Eric say? Like, oh, I hope you're not really going to go to Rose's house and spend the night there. I'm like, fuck, maybe he should have months ago. Maybe he should
this
have.
whole thing would have been over if that.
Maybe he should have. Don't get inside his head.
Which let's not even try to find that root cause because it all comes back to the stupid deal he made.
Yeah.
That stupid STD scare he had. Like,
yeah. Even Eric is like, did you make a deal? Like, even Eric was afraid of the deal.
God damn it. This whole thing is just a crapshoot. Like, Simon really needs to wake the fuck up and like get his shit together and like figure this shit out because like he can't go on like this. He just can't.
Well, you don't want him to go on like this, but
he literally cannot go on like this.
Well,
what is his life gonna be?
Well, I don't know, but it's definitely a choice that he is
making.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He's choosing this life, which like, God damn it. Like, I wish I could just like open his eyes, you know? Like,
almost like just hit him and then here.
Yeah. Like implant the future into his brain so he could see it.
This is what it looks like. It's not pretty.
He needs to be visited by the ghost of the future.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Christmas Carol style.
Yeah, definitely.
This is what your life could be like if you don't marry Rose.
Look, things are burning. It doesn't make sense.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so God knows. I mean, it's the same refrain. We've been saying this for the last 10 episodes, and I feel like we're going to keep saying it for another 10 more. Like, who knows? I don't know what's going to happen with this bitch. Like, I just don't know.
Rain, rain, go away. Oh,
Rose, Rose, go away. Never come back. Okay, bye.
Seriously.
It doesn't rhyme, but it's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that doesn't leave us with anything. I feel like it leaves us with Sandy and Martin and their whole drama. So
yeah.
Basically, again, it comes back to this apple pie. Annie made an apple pie for dessert. Eric wasn't there for dinner. Lucy took the leftovers of that apple pie to her house.
Yeah.
When Eric calls Lucy to get the remains of this apple pie, Sandy picks up.
Yep.
And so he tells Sandy to tell Lucy, and then Lucy's like, do you mind taking this pie over there? And in that transit in the backyard, because Martin has just come to visit Ruthie, and Sandy is coming to the Camden house to drop off this pie, they cross paths.
Yeah.
Now, this is the first time they've seen each other or exchanged words even since Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it's like Akko Taco for a hot minute, but Sandy does the bigger thing. Like,
of course.
She's the bigger person. And she's like, she almost didn't say anything, but she kind of like is like, hey, do you mind? Or no, she doesn't. Does she give Martin the pie?
Yeah, she does.
Oh, that's right.
She's like,
Martin
you might
is
as well.
going.
Yeah.
He's not leaving. He's going for the. Okay. So he's like, hey, if you're going in there, do you mind taking this pie in? And he's like, okay. And he like takes it all awkwardly. And she's about to turn away and like not say anything more, but she's like, no. She turns around. She's like, Merry Christmas, Martin. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like Thanksgiving over, so it's holidays already. So she's like, have a happy holidays, Martin. And he is like super Akko.
Yeah.
And is like, okay.
Yeah, he's like, thanks.
Leaves. Like, and she's just like, ugh, you know?
Yeah, she's all heartbroken by it.
And then she goes and like cries her heart out, her eyes out to Lucy and Kevin. And she's like, God damn it. Like, it's so much to ask, like, for him to just be like nice and like civil. And like, and she fully is like, you know, like, I want him. Like, I want him to want me. I want him to marry me. I want him to be there. I want him to save me.
Yeah, like when I heard her say all those things, I was like, oh, I thought we didn't want this.
I know. I thought we got over it, Sandy.
But then I was like, wait a minute, bro. She's pregnant. You are emotional as fuck, and rightfully so.
And I get it too. She's scared. She's alone, and she's scared, and she doesn't want those things for herself.
Yeah,
of course not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And when she said all that, I'm like, this all makes sense. I get it. I'm not even upset with it.
It makes sense, and it's that thing of like, you know,
you want some security,
right? And
something stable.
And I get her. Like, I get what's happening in her brain, where she's like, God, like if he could just be there, then everything might be okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'd have a partner. We wouldn't be alone in this. Like, I wouldn't be alone in this together. Like, you know, like, God, like, why can't he just be on board? You know, like, that's all she really wants. And he's just not there, you know? And in a way, I don't hate on Martin for it's like, I'm trying to find the right words. I think what I'm trying to say is like, from a writing perspective, from the meta perspective, right? Like, in a way, I'm kind of like cool on the fact that the character of Martin is adamant about his stance.
Yeah.
Like, he's not ever gonna want this baby.
Yeah.
And that's okay too. You know what I mean? Like, it's not great for Sandy.
No.
But it's fine in the life scheme of things. You know what I mean? Like, he obviously was part of the decision that led to this child. And that's he accepts that responsibility. But he doesn't want this baby.
Yeah.
So, like, sorry, Sandy, but you're not going to get what you want.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, the sooner she gets over it, and the sooner he, you know, doesn't have to keep reminding her of that fact, you know, the sooner maybe they can each just go their separate ways and gain some semblance of normalcy for their lives.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer here is.
I don't either.
But the right answer, I think, is what Lucy gets him to do at the end.
Yeah.
Because, well, okay, before we get too ahead of ourselves, all that shit goes down. Sandy cries to Kevin and Lucy. Kevin's like, I want to punch this motherfucker. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like Kevin's over it. They run into each other in the backyard because Kevin's coming, Martin's going, or whatever. They run into each other and they have this like hilarious tussle in the backyard. But honestly, you listen to this and tell me what it sounds like.
Yeah.
That does not sound like fighting to me.
You know, the first part sounded like someone was trying to poop. And then, and then I
And
was
then
like,
once the both voices kick in,
you're like, uh-oh. And then it sounds like clothes and you're like,
I know. It's like moany and groany more than like punchy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
The best is Eric looks at it, goes, let them have at it, and just like closes the door.
Yeah. He's not going to get involved in this.
He's like, they need
whatever it
to
is.
just deal with it.
Yeah. So they punch each other out and then they both calm down and Kevin's like, whatever, man, I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. And Martin's like, yeah, like, I'm sorry that I made you feel like you had to do that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like, they're cool. And then, but Martin says to Kevin that he feels a little betrayed because Lucy and he were supposed to be his friends.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, you know, they're like buddy buddies with Sandy and like Sandy's at their house and da da da.
Yeah.
And, you know, he felt like his one ally that he had, and Lucy especially, because she was the first person he confided in about
Yeah.
all this, whatever. Like the first, like he feels like all of a sudden, like now he's got nobody in his corner, you know, and like, and he feels like, okay, so like, do I have to quote unquote do the right thing and like be there for Sandy because everyone's telling me to, kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know? And so the next day, he goes over to Lucy and Lucy's like, oh, like you guys, you know, you want some breakfast? Like, I'll make you breakfast, whatever. And he's like, it's cool. Like, I'm good. She's like, what about pancakes? I'll make you pancakes. And he's like, you know, what are you doing? She's like, oh, nothing like a friend wouldn't do or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, basically trying to be like, I'm your friend. And what she does here, I think, is like winning because she's like, listen, you don't have to be the father of the year or whatever right now.
Yeah.
But like pick up the phone, apologize to her and wish her a happy Christmas. Like,
Yeah.
that's what you can do right now. And I feel like that's what you should do. And so he a little begrudgingly does that.
Yeah.
But fully again makes it clear he's like Merry Christmas, sorry I don't want this kid.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
He's like sorry that like I'm not gonna be there for you or whatever.
I was like, whoa, that was real fast.
But
Martin.
again though, I get it though, like if like, and I appreciate that Martin is at least true to himself, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like he's not gonna do something he's not equipped nor wants to do.
Yeah.
And that's worse for the kid if he was there for it begrudgingly,
Yeah.
or in a false way. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Like, what's better, a parent who doesn't want you, or a parent that's not there? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So he basically says like, "Merry Christmas, sorry, I don't want this kid," and they hang up. And Sandy, like, fucking finally,
Yeah.
I believe it this time too. I feel
Same.
like finally, for her sake.
After waiting all these months for him to call, he finally called.
And?
And I think for the first time I realized that I had casual sex with an 18-year-old high school student who just isn't really what I want after all. And I have to say that knowing that, I suddenly feel quite free.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Good for you, girl.
I think there's a metaphorical symbolism, or maybe that's redundant, to the fact that as she says, I finally feel free, she walks away from Rose as well.
Yeah.
She like puts down her coffee. She like gets up and leaves Rose's house too.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's something to that.
I think so.
Because Rose is not her friend.
No, Rose is not her friend. And yeah, you're right. They're not. They're not good friends to each other.
No.
They're not.
And I mean, on Sandy's part, I don't know that the onus is on Sandy.
No. I'm not
know what I
saying
mean?
that. I'm saying like we've seen examples of it. Rose has talked a lot of shit
Right.
about Sandy, but what Sandy, I don't know if she's talked shit, but it's more if she doesn't
called
trust
it like
her.
she sees it.
She calls it like she sees it, and she doesn't really trust her.
Right.
And that's the
Right.
truth. She doesn't really trust her.
Right. All that stuff that she said to Simon about like, like I wouldn't see what you see in her and da 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 da.
Yeah.
Like it's not necessarily talking shit. It's just like she's not jiving on Rose too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're friends because I think too, like from Sandy's perspective, like, she doesn't have any other friends.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
Something to hold on to.
Yeah. And from Rose's perspective, she's friends with Sandy because Sandy makes her feel better about herself.
Exactly.
That's so obvious.
Yeah.
Like as bad as Sandy's life is or whatever, or as bad as like, I don't want to say bad, but like as like convoluted and like fucked up as all the lies and shit as Rose's life is, like in Rose's mind, Sandy's is worse because she's pregnant, unmarried, and unstable and whatever. And so she can like look at the other and be like, that's so fucked up,
So mean.
I know. Rose is the worst.
Yeah, she really is.
The worst. Oh, Rose. Yeah.
Yeah.
So does that do it?
Yeah, dude.
I feel like those are the main things
Yeah.
that happen.
God, lately I feel like Annie's been missing in action.
I know. Annie didn't have anything to do in this episode except eat pie and tell Simon what she said.
Yeah. Okay.
God damn, when Eric finally eats that pie, though, I was like, get out of here with this shit.
I was like, was it that good?
Okay, I do want to quickly mention, too. So when Ruthie and Jack have their little amicable split, or it's not even anything.
Yeah.
When they both decide to not be with each other, Ruthie's like, "Oh, great! Now I have to tell my dad. Like, he was right, whatever." And so she kind of like, begrudgingly, like goes up to him and tells him everything. And what Eric says here is just for me, like I was bawling watching this scene, like. It's so what I feel like is my thought about the holidays and like family and just being a good person in society in general, and it's sort of like the ideals on which like I've been raised or whatever. I don't know.
I was really hoping you wouldn't gloat. You always do that, you gloat.
I do. I absolutely do. And your mom pouts. And Sam and David don't always do what I tell them. And Simon is just blind when it comes to Rose. And Lucy still cries at the drop of a hat. And Kevin is impatient. And Martin is very stubborn. And you're at that eye-rolling stage that I just detest. And not one of you is going to change between now and Christmas. And yet, I'm going to enjoy my holidays with all of you because I realize that now. No expectations, no disappointments. I don't want anything from any of you other than for all of us to be together during the holidays and share our time and our energy with our own weird and wonderful family.
Love that.
Yeah.
I think that was so special and just like a great little message,
Yeah. Definitely. It's nice and honest.
Yeah. And it's like, and that's what it comes down to, like, especially for these people, like with Christmas and everything, like it's such an important part of the year and everything. And like such a culmination to a full year and whatever. So it's like, I like that Eric's able to recognize like, it's not about expectations on people. You know what I mean? Like you could yell and scream and want your kids or people that you love to like do the right thing or the thing that you think is the right thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Be it Martin trying to be a dad or Ruthie like not dating Jack or whatever. And whatever happens at the end of the day, like they're family, they love each other and they're going to spend time with each other and it's going to be quality time and it's going to be good. And That's all that matters.
There you go.
Good shit.
Good shit.
Any other stray observations or thoughts about this episode?
No. What about you?
I don't think so. I'm good. I feel
You good?
I hit all of my check boxes.
Nice.
Yeah, so then let's rate this puppy.
2 thumbs up.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I think I have to go 2 thumbs up as well.
Yeah.
Have to, like it's like pulling my teeth or whatever. But yeah, I did enjoy this episode.
Yeah, same.
Like, again, Rose stuff at this point, it's like, that's not, I can't hold the Rose stuff against this show anymore.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
Okay, it's showing me a side.
Whatever. But yeah, I think this was a solid ep. And it didn't leave me feeling like, ugh, you know,
Yeah.
and it was good. And there was some good like development stuff too, you know, like stuff happened in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like things that will move the story forward. So that's always good.
True.
So yeah, 4 thumbs up all around. Whoop whoop. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us in this episode.
Oh.
As always, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You can subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/forheavensakepod. We've got a couple of tiers on there. We've got the Keep the Lights On tier and the Heaven Heads tier. For $5 a month, you'll get access to 2 bonus episodes of live commentary on movies that T has seen that I have not. We're racking them up, man. There's like 20 movies on there at this point.
Quite a few.
So if you subscribe now at patreon.com/forheavensakepod, you'll have access to all of those and future eps as well. And you can follow us on social media at For Heaven's Sake Pod. Send us an email at forheavensakeshow@gmail.com. And until next time, bye.
Bye.